So this is for Year 9 pop music. This is a help guide on how to write the chords for your chord progression in your pop song. One important thing we need to make sure is that the chords are what we call diatonic. So pop music doesn't get very creative with the chords they use. We use diatonic chords, which means they're chords all within the same key. And all we need to know from that is that we have primary chords and we have secondary chords. Alright, our primary chords, if we recall from year 8, when we used Roman numerals, are I or 1, IV or 4, and V or 5. So 1, 4, and 5. These are all major chords. With secondary chords, these are I, 2, I, 3, VI 6. These are our secondary chords. And the reason they're secondary is they are all minor, which is why I write them in lowercase and the primaries, which are major, in uppercase. Now, all we need to take from this is how to read the Roman numerals and what they mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we say that we're going to write the song in G, which we are, so we're going to write in G major. Now, if we write out all the letters in our musical alphabet up until G again, so G, we go straight back to A, then B, C, D, E, F. G would be the next one, so we're going to leave that one. And we numbered them from 1 to 7. This basically tells you which chords are going to be major and which are minor. So G, being 1, would be major. Now in Roman numerals we got 4, so C is also going to be major, and D is also going to be major. So they are your primary chords. G, C, and D. All major chords, all primary. Remember, when we are finding out what the major chords are, we start with the first one, we then count 4 steps and then 3 steps. That was what we studied in year 8. From there, moving on, we have our minor chords, our secondary chords. So again, 2, 3, 6, we find this one, 2, 3, and 6. So A, B, and E are all going to be minor chords, and they're going to be secondary chords. Okay, and when we're figuring those out, we start like with the first note, we count 3 keys and then 4 keys to find out those ones. And remember, a chord is 3 notes played at the same time. From there, what we had to do was write our chord progression. So 4 boxes. You have to start with a primary chord. Your second chord can be primary or secondary, and your third one has to be whatever this last one wasn't. So if it was primary, it's going to be secondary. If it's secondary, it's going to be primary. And your final one, primary. The reason we use this is because it's a classic pop chord progression. Start strong, end strong, with a little bit of tension in the middle. So you can pick any of these, G, C, or D, to go into this box. I'm going to go with D. Then it needs to be primary or secondary. Now I am thinking, so I might go with a secondary here, so I might go with an E chord. The next one, because I use secondary here, must be primary, so I'm going to go with a C chord, and the last one has to be primary. Now you do not have to use whatever's left over. If you want to use D again, you can use D again. If you want to use C again, you can use C. I'm going to go with G though. Then you're going to take your piano app or your piano and you're going to try and play these chords. Now on your sheet, the chords are written out for you. You just need to press the 3 keys that are on the sheet. So if I'm playing this chord progression, I'm going to go D chord, E minor, C, G. actually don't mind that, so I'm going to stick with that. And that would be how we write our verse chord progression. So once we figured out the major and the minors, the primaries and the secondaries, it's really straightforward. Now, say I didn't like the E and I wanted to change that. I might just try, maybe I'll try an A chord instead. So if I try an A chord here, and you might prefer that for your song, so you might stick with that. I'm going to stick with the E though. Alright, I'm going to do another video into how to change these up so you can create a chorus, and then how you can create backing for your song as well.